So actually see here, this is our client side and this is our that is file. Okay. If we are going to interact with this server, so actually we need some dynamic things. We can create static things using HTML and CSS. If you want your page to be a dynamic from your client side, then you will be using a JavaScript. Okay. And just an overview what is JavaScript. So here you can see what are the things we are going to learn. So we will learn how to handle HTML events, animations, and how we can read element state and data, form handling and validation, handling cookies and session data. So what is a JavaScript? So it is used to do what? It makes the HTML page more interactive, and this is a scripting language, client scripting language. There are two types of scripting languages are there. So we'll use this one, server scripting language. To click on this, you can see there are different scripting language. We have like PHP, Python, Node.js, Net.data. So these are all called as a scripting language for server side. Okay. If you go and check for client side scripting languages, you can see these are the client side scripting language, and most probably will be using JavaScript, React. So these are all called as a client side scripting language. Okay, so it will not be interactive with a server side, it is entirely for the client side. And so if you see this, this is a lightweight programming language, and this JavaScript is usually embedded directly into an HTML page. uh, I hope you have heard about Java, right? So in Java, what we will do, so if I want to include the HTML file, I need to do it in a separate file. Okay. But if you see in the JavaScript, we can do it inside a HTML file itself. Okay. And so this is called as a interpreted language. So what is called as interpreted language? So this means this script executes without any preliminary compilation. So we don't want to do any compilations here. So if you go and check with Java, so what happened is we need to compile it once. Then only we'll be getting a execution output. But here we don't want anything. So once you run the code, it will be opening in the web browser itself. Okay. So and then everyone can use JavaScript without purchasing a license. So this is actually open source. So we don't want to purchase any license here. Uh, we can use it for free. So this is a representation. So what is called HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we already know. So HTML is like a content. It is like a text, a black and white. And if you want to do some presentation on that, we will going for CSS, cascading style sheet. And the last one is JavaScript. So if you want to perform any actions or behavior, for example, I have some button. I can create a button using HTML itself, right? But if I want to do some functionality, I need to use JavaScript. Clear? And then if you see introduction to JavaScript, so again some important points they have given. So what it is and what it's doing. So again the same point. So whenever the interview question is comes like what is JavaScript, you definitely need to mention it's a client side scripting language. So which make a web page, whatever the web page, it's more dynamic and interactive. Okay, and so if if you have created a website and the user is typing some information, so what happen is the users sometimes enter some wrong informations, that is which is not acceptable in the pattern, right? So then it will give some response to that web page, like you have entered something wrong and you need to change something like this. So each and everything it will showcase in the web page. Okay, and react to the user events. So how it is reacting to the user events. and then capturing the user inputs typically done through the form. And we'll see what is a form validation and all. So here you can see, so who developed this. So actually this is developed by Netscape, not Sun. So Sun is developed by sorry, Java is developed by Sun, but JavaScript is developed by Netscape, and this is actually executed in a browser. It's not a fully featured programming language, however the syntax is similar. Okay, and so here we have given some kind of characteristics. So what is JavaScript is all about? So JavaScript is a scripting language that we already know, and JavaScript is an object based. So sometimes they will ask in an interview like, can you tell me whether a JavaScript is object based or not object oriented? So you can specify what it is. So it's a object based one. It is not an object oriented one. Why? Because so JavaScript does not allow inheritance and subclassings. So we can create a classes and everything, but we cannot create subclassing and all. So it does not allow in inheritance. And this is a event driven and platform independent and enables a quick development. So this is all about the theory part, and they also discussed about what's the difference between JavaScript and Java. Sometimes the fresher doesn't know what's the difference, right? So here these are the important key points we can refer. So Java was developed by Sun Microsystem, while JavaScript was developed by Netscape. And if you see, JavaScript is high level scripting language, whereas Java is a object oriented programming languages. Okay, and this is very easy to learn. If you want to learn JavaScript, is very easy. But whereas Java is comparatively difficult. Okay, the same thing they have given. Yeah. So let's see the simple codes and everything. So how we can create things, variable, what are the primitive types, and how we are going to handling forms, cookies, sessions, and etc. Okay, so let's get into the code now. So I'll open the notepad. I think Annai Ayesha College have not sent any assessment or assignment using JavaScript, right? So today I will give you the assignment. So actually, I already told you guys like this gonna be a embedded JavaScript. Okay, so you are going to embed something within a HTML. So then only it's going to perform, right? So I'm giving it as a .html file. I'm just saving it. So here you need to mention doc type HTML slash HTML. Okay. And in between, what are the three ways we can define? That is uh, that is JavaScript files. As anyone from Annai Ayesha College, how we can define it? So how we can upload JavaScript file within this? So no idea. Okay, so actually if you see embed JavaScript file or the JavaScript code into three ways. Okay, so what are the three ways is the first one is like internal, the internal through head and the body element, and the external we can create a .js file and we can import it in the head element. Okay, so like this you will be doing. Clear? So now I have some simple file and just I'm going to embed with this. So how I can do it? We already joined them. Is but Pavitra, I can see some only 7 students joined from your college. Is this a real strength? Let me check how many students are in the LMS. Give me a minute. So, Avanti College. I can see some 19 students are there. Where are these students? Or attend? Are you attending on the same system like that? Okay, let me check the attendance for you guys as well. Okay, because I cannot hear your voice. One, just repeat it again. Sorry. Yes, Guram Venkata Anusha, are you present? Bharati, Deepika, Devi,
Present,
Deepika, right?
present, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Deepika is present. Bharati is absent. Guram is absent. Okay. And Devi,
Baby
Devi,
is
are you present?
present, ma'am.
Purnima, Gandapalli Purnima. Okay. Deepika, Gauri Patnam Deepika. Guys, this attendance will be taken because you should have some 80% of attendance. If you're not coming regularly, I'm sorry, you will not be getting any attendance. Okay. And Joshna, Leela is present, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Maunika, Simbatu Maunika. Yadagiri Pavitra,
Present, ma'am.
Chantika, Chandaka Pramela, Chandaka Pramela, Rama Devi, Deni Ramya Rani, Sai Deepti Lakna, Sai Lakshmi, Sailaja,
Ma'am, Shailaja Chepuri present.
present. Okay. Sai Lakshmi, Soni, Kandam Reddy Soni, Sri Sai Sudha, Sweta Lakshmi, present. Okay. And Durga,
Present.
present. Okay. So how many students? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 students are present. I'm just going to update it. Okay. And also inform your friends if they are not attending regularly, they will not be getting any what percentage will not be calculated. Okay, just to confirm, is there anyone apart from the students who are not in this attendance sheet? Just give your name and your mail ID and phone number in the chat box so that I can take it off. Is anyone like that? Okay, thank you. I have updated. Okay, guys. So first, we'll see how we can work with this example. If I'm going to have some creations using a JavaScript. So how I can work with it. So let's see some simple examples how we can run the code using a JavaScript basics. Okay. So first thing is, if I want to use as a JavaScript as an internal, that is either we can go with a head or body element. So head or the body element, what we can do. So here you need to mention some button. Okay, so I'm giving a button slash button, and this is my element. Okay, so type is equals to button. So after creating this, what I will do, so I need to, if I click on that button, something is going to happen. For that I need to use a script. So either I can use it in the script element inside the body, or I can go with the head element. Okay, the script element, what I can do, I need to create one function. So function called click off. Okay, and just open the curly brace. So inside this I'm going to create some functionality. Okay, so how I can do this, so I'm just giving some confirmation. So confirm is a method. Okay, so confirm is a method. Actually there are some two things are, sorry guys. So one is, so actually this is a interview questions, just make a note of it. So difference between windows and document in JavaScript. Okay, just make a note of it. Let me get into the images. Okay, see here. So actually this is called as the difference between a Windows and document. You can see this Windows entirely is like, this outer thing. So this will be called as a Windows. If I want to display something on this particular frame, so this is my frame, right? So if I want to display anything on this, I need a Windows object. If I'm going to use anything inside using this document, then I need this document object. So we'll see some example on this Windows object in JavaScript, and then we'll check with the document objects. Okay. So we'll see some basic simple examples of how we can work with it. So better what I will do is, yeah. So first I will complete this. Just give some values here. Click. So now here I have a script, right, function. So I need to merge this with this button. So how I can do it? I need to create a something called as on click. Okay, in on click there are so many different the methods, that is types are there. So here I will give on click, and the value is going to be what, my function name. Okay, so I'll be giving click off. So if I go and refresh this, so actually I didn't give the name for this button, so let me give the name. Click here. So here you have a button. So what happened? Confirmation. So did I close this script? Let me put this. So what did I? Okay, sorry. So here also I've given on click and what is the function name, and everything is correct. And the script function keyword and what is a method Yeah, it's correct value. Why it is not? Let me check whether there is any error. Go to the inspect and check there is no error. Okay, let me check with the alert method. The button is not accessing. Give me a second, guys. So let me change this name and verify. Let's move. Yeah. So the name is the problem. Okay. So if you check here, it is displaying the output. Okay. So either you can go with this one, you can mention within the body element, or you can cut this, you can use it in the script element. Okay. So sorry, the head element. So if you click on this OK and just refresh, and now you can check. Yes, it is displaying, right? Uh, okay. So now you can see so how it is working. So same output we are getting. So either we can use it here or else we can use it on the head element. So now I'm creating one more new file. File save as. So I'm saving this file as JavaScript 123.js because this is going to be an external style sheet, that is a JavaScript file. So I'm naming this as this one. So here you don't want to mention any script element here. You directly you can give the functionalities. Okay, just go here and paste it and just delete this one. Okay. So now how to merge these two things? So to merge purpose, what we need a script element. Okay. So slash script element. So inside this, we need to mention what is the source file. So source file name is what? It's JavaScript 123.js. Okay, just save this and run it again. You can see the output. Okay, these are the three ways you can define things out. Clear, everyone? Is there any doubt in this? So I'll tell you now, there are some two different things we have. That is one thing, it is called as a document. The another thing it is called as a windows. Okay. So the first thing we'll see about what is document object, and the another one it is called as a windows. So actually in documents we have a number of methods, and here also we have a different numbers of methods. Let me show you some example. The internet. Okay. Documents, methods in JavaScript. I click on this, just come down here. You can see there are, there are multiple numbers of method which is occupied within this document. So what is called as this document object? So this document object, when a HTML document is loaded into the browser, when the HTML document is loaded into the browser, it becomes a document object. So each and every elements, so I'll show you. So here, if you can see, this is a document. Okay. So when the particular document is uploaded into the web page, okay, in the browser, so it will be each and every element will be considered as a object. So this is one object, this is an object, this is an object. So each and everything will be called as a object. So that is called as a document object model. So interview, they will definitely ask you this question. And the document object is the root node of the HTML element. So actually this document object is a property of Windows object. Okay. So actually I will tell you one thing. See here, if you go and check if the windows, okay, if I have a windows method, right? So in this windows method and also document also, I'll be having a methods. So inside this windows only, I also have the document methods also. I can also access the document method, but I cannot access any windows method using a document object. Okay, this is a very simple scenario. Okay, and the next thing is, if you come down, these are the some methods. So we'll see some important methods, so what we will use. Okay, and next thing is windows object. You can see here, if you click on this, you can see what is the definition. So windows object represents a open window in a browser. Okay, if a document contains a frame tags, the browser creates one window object for the HTML document and one additional Windows object for the each frames. So this is called as uh, open window in a browser, that is called as a Windows object. So here you can see in the frame you have got some kind of things, right? So either you can give it as a alert message or you can give it as, so actually this alert message is under the windows.alert, window.alert. So you need to mention it like this. If you go and refresh, you can see the same output. So you can either use it or you can eliminate this. You will get the same output. Okay, that is not mandatory to use Windows object in a Windows method. Okay, and next thing is, so we'll see some examples for a Windows method. So first I will create one element here. Okay, so paragraph elements. So here I'm creating an ID. So ID is what? A. Okay. And the next thing is, if you come down, so in this particular place, I need to display some details. Okay. For that reason, I've created this paragraph element. So now I will go to my script element, sorry, script file. So here, what I will do is I will use a document object. So in this document object, I already told you, so there are many different methods are there. So I'm going to use get element by ID. Okay. So to fetch the element details. Okay. So if I have mentioned as a ID, right? So that is the reason I have given as a get element by ID. If it is a class name, if I have mentioned this as a class, then what will be the the method name will be, like method name will be a class name. So like this you will be defining. So actually this should be in a camel case. Camel case means the first word will be in the small character and the other words first characters will be in a uppercase. Okay. So let me take it as a ID itself now. Okay, next thing is, after doing this, inside this ID method I'm giving a name as A. I think, yeah. Then I need to fetch the details of particular document. So I'm going to change some details of this paragraph because I'm going to display some details in this paragraph element. For that purpose, what I will do is I will use dot, and inside this I will mention a inner HTML. Okay, so this inner HTML will change the element values. Okay, and after this, I'm going to use a window objects like inner width. I'm going to fetch the inner width of this browser plus I'm going to get the window dot inner height. So what is the height of this window? So just I will give it as I'm going to check the browser height, and here I'll be mentioning it as yeah. So after this, what I need to do is I just need to display the output. So better and do it here in the script element. So document dot get element by ID inner HTML, and then I'm just going to get the value of window dot inner width and this one. And I need to be mentioned it as pixel. I need a break. Okay, break means it will start from the new line. Here also I'll copy this. So here you can see how much it is. 1536 pixel, and if you see the height of this browser, it is 746 pixels. So like this, there are a different windows, the methods are there. You can find the particular values. Okay, using this we can find the different values. Okay, and we'll see some document object windows. So how we can have a document. So document object methods. Okay, so from that we'll be getting an idea so how to work with it. Let's, yeah, so the first thing is see here. Yeah. So these are the ways we can find the HTML elements. So how we can work with that particular elements. So we'll see the examples for it. Okay. So what are the examples we can define using a JavaScript object and also using this. Okay. And so let's see some example here. So already we discussed about HTML, that is ID, that is element ID. Now we will see about the tag names, how we can use it with the tag names. Let me remove this. Okay. So if I have some kind of paragraph elements, let me give some paragraph. I'm giving some different, text here. Okay, there are some three different paragraphs I have. Okay, and I'm going to print the values. Actually, I'm going to get the tag name values. Okay, for this there are some three kind of keywords we have. Okay, so the first one is, we'll call it as So to create a variables, I'm just saying. So to create a variables, so an Ayesha college, can anyone tell me what are the different keywords we use to create a variable? Any idea? We have variable keyword, let keyword, and const keyword. So what is the main difference for this variable let const? So if you see the variable keyword, so if I am assigning some values equal to a equal to 10, and I'm trying to print this. Okay, document is an object again. Write is one of the method over here. And inside this method, I'm just trying to print a value. So what will be the value I'm getting? So I'll be getting a value as, so I will be getting a value as 10, right? So here you can see the value as 10. So the next thing is, if I'm trying to, redeclare this value, so what happens? Actually, this is an interview question mark. Okay, so if I refresh this, you can see 11, right? And the third one, if I'm trying to reassign the value into 12, then it also been accepted. So what happened? The variable keyword, you can redeclare, or you can you can reassign the value. That is possible. Okay, but if you go with let keyword, if I'm changing this to a let keyword, I'm trying to assign it. Okay, so what happens? So the value will be same as 12. Yes, reassignment is possible, but I'm trying to redeclare this value. Then what happens? Go and refresh. You can see it is nothing. It is showing. So if you go and check in the console, so what happened? The identifier A has already been declared. So you cannot do anything. Clear? So in this let keyword, what happens? Cannot be declare, but can reassign the values. Okay. And what is called const keyword? So const keyword both cannot be possible. Cannot be possible to redeclare or reassign the value. Okay. So like this, we have the definition. So now, why I was telling this, because we are going to declare some variable for this particular thing, for the tag name. Okay, so I'm just using a const keyword here, and I'm giving a variable name as a. So I already mentioned a, so better I'll take it as b. So now I'm going to fetch this tag names, right? So I'm going to fetch the details of this tag name. So how I can get it? Using a object document dot get elements by tag name. Okay, so the method name is what? Get elements by tag name. So here we will give the tag name. What is the tag name? Here it is a paragraph. Okay, so after getting all the details of this paragraph, again I'm going to use document dot get element by id. So what is the id name here? It is e, right? So I'm going to first thing is I have get the value of this paragraph tag name, and now I'm going to print these value inside this paragraph. Okay, so here I have mentioned a name as a. Now I'm going to change the value, right? So for changing the value, what we will do, we will use inner html property. Okay, so here uh, what is the variable I have mentioned for this tag names? It is b, right? So I will be giving a b. So which particular tag element you are going to represent? So here I'm going to represent the value of this JavaScript 123. So this will be arranged as a array. So first is 0, second is 1, and the third is 2, right? So what will be the value for this one? This will be considered as 1. So 1 dot inner HTML. Okay, now we will run the code. So here you can see in the paragraph element it is displaying. So you can also change the element whatever you want. So now I will change this to heading. Okay, H1. It also I'm changing as H1. So if I go and refresh, you can see some bold text has been displayed. So any doubt in this tag name? So next we will see about the class names. How we can create a class name? The same thing here. I'm just giving a class to be C. Here also I'm using the same class name. For these particular class name, I'm going to uh, display any one of the elements. Okay, so for that I've created here. So here you need to change this as by class name. Okay. So I have mentioned as a class name. What is a class name now? So the class name is C. So previously it is a tag name. Now it is a class name as C. Okay. So after doing this, we are going to print this element in this particular thing. So again B, I want to print 0. So 0 means what is the class name 0? This number of method will be displayed. Let's check. See here, the number of methods has been displayed. And now if example, I want to find the HTML elements by CSS selectors. So how I can use with the CSS selectors. So example, if I want to match a specified CSS selector, example, it may be ID or a class name or a types or attributes, values. So whatever it may be. Okay. So this actually returns a list of paragraph element within the class intro. Let's see how we can do this. So actually it's the same thing which we have done in the class name, but this is very special. So if I copy this, I'm pasting it again. Along the source. I'll just copy this. If you refresh this, it will accept, it will display all the elements, right? So now I'm changing this to be H1, H1. Like this, I have created. So now what I will do is I need to print this H1. So if you see here, both this paragraph and the H1 has the same class names, right? So I don't want each and every element to be calculated for the array index. Okay, I just want this particular thing. So what I will do is I'll just change the text so that it will be easy for you to understand. So now what I will do is if I go and refresh, you can see some different things, right? So here I'm going to change the method or document method. I need a specific things, right? So in the H1, I need specific this. So what I will do is I'll use query selector all method. Okay, query selector all method. Here I will be specifically, I will tell, so I need H1 dot C class name to be printed. Okay, so like this I've given. I need the zero. So zeroth means I will be getting React.js and Bootstrap as an output. Let's check. See here. So this is how we'll be getting a output. So these are the very simple examples how we can work with this one. So do you have any doubts in this? No doubts, right? As of now. Okay. So the next thing is so I already discussed about this, thing. So example, let me show it. Yeah. So these are the different, data types we have actually. So we'll have some, definition for this. How we'll be working with this data types and variable. Actually, guys, I already told to Ayesha College, but for the Avanti College also are repeating this. There are something called as primitive data type and then non-primitive data type. Anyone knows the answer for this? Anyone knows the difference between primitive and non-primitive data type? What is the main difference? No one knows?
Ma'am,
Ah, yes.
primitive means predefined, ma'am.
Okay.
Non-primitive means object likewise, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So actually, primitive data type is called as a predefined data type. So which is if while creating a JavaScript itself, they have mentioned these kind of data types to be there. Okay, but if you see the non-primitive, actually this is created by a developer. So developer have created this non-primitive data types, and if you see here also the difference of the primitive data types, if you check with this, we have something called a string, number, and boolean, and we have something called as null, and we have one more thing, that is it. This is nan is not a data type actually. Yeah, undefined. Okay, so in interview definitely they will ask what is called as undefined. So can anyone tell me what is undefined? Is there any possibilities? Okay, we'll check. So what it is. If you know the answer, you can tell me. Otherwise, okay. Okay, if you want to declare any particular variable, so how you'll be declaring? You have to declare within the script element only. So I'll be giving a variable keyword, or better, I can go with the document type itself. I'm going to print all the values. Okay, to find a data type, I will be using a type of method. Okay, this is actually a method, type of method. So here I will be giving the values. If example, I'm giving a value as 123 number. So if I'm giving as a 10, so if you go and refresh here, so what it shows, it is a number data type. If I'm just copying this, I'm giving it as a words, and here I'm trying to print some boolean values. So boolean means true or false, right? And then null values, or either I can give it as a null itself. So null will be considered as an object. So here I'm trying to multiply some value with another value. Let me give some break. So this I will explain you laterly. I'll this one I'll explain you laterly. Okay, so see here, the first one is a type is a number, and the second I have given a word, so that is considered as a string. If I give true or whatever it is a false, then it will be considered as a boolean value. And if you see, this is called as a auto. So these are the different data types we have, and we also have something called as object. So how to create an object and all, we'll see that. So actually the object is not in our portion. So these are the different data types we regularly use. And one more thing is, if example, I have some variable. Okay, I'm giving some 10 as a value and I'm adding some string here. Okay, so this is a string. So if I do this, what happens? You can see 10 string, right? So this is a concatenation symbol. Concatenation means you can add a number with a string. Okay, but if I'm using some other operator from this plus, then let's see, I'm changing this to minus and this to multiply. If I go and refresh, you can see what it is saying. It is a not a number. Okay, this is definitely you will be getting this question in an industry. So sorry, interview. So please make a note of it. So let's copy this. Okay, guys. So this is very simple. And next to this, we'll just understand. So now we understood what it is. So undefined also. Undefined means nothing but if I give a variable as a, okay, I'm not doing anything. So just copy this. I have not given any value for this a variable, and I'm trying to run this and get the value. So what happened? So it will show it as a undefined. Okay, clear? So these are all about the data types and variables. So how you need to mention the variables. So here I have mentioned it as a, right? So what are the different ways? If it comes to a real time, so you'll be having multiple variables, right? For for storing some values. So at the time, what happens? Sometimes it throw an error. So you should know what are the criteria to create a variable. So use a variable key for creating a variable in JavaScript, or you can either go with let or const. Variable can contain type of data from string to boolean. The variable name cannot be a reserved word. For example, I have a reserved word called function. So function actually is a keyword. So I'm trying to use this function keyword here. Let's check what happens. So see here, it is showing. It is not showing any output. So yes. See here, so unexpected token function. So you cannot use any reserved words. If you are using any reserved word, then it will not accept that particular thing. Okay, clear? So next is note a date would be a difference. So actually this JavaScript is a case sensitive. If example, here I'm using a capital A, okay, and I'm giving a value as 10. Here I'm using a small a. So let's check. So what happens? So again, it is showing like A is not defined. Why? Because this is capital and this is small. If I'm changing this to capital A, then what happens? You'll be getting a values as 10. Clear? And example variable 4. So can be created automatically by assigning a value plus equal to some values. Okay. So for example, trying to print this value. So again, it is showing undefined. Okay. So next, we have discussed about what is a primitive and non-primitive. So you know this, and what are the different operators we are using. So Java operators, very simple. So we have used a 10 plus something, right? So it's the same thing. For example, I have some value like a is equal to 10 and b is equals to some 11. So I can do the all the multiplication, addition, and everything. So how we can do this? A plus b some value, and here also I can use a into b. Here I'll be changing this as a minus b, a divided by b. Like this will be doing. If you go and refresh, you can see the values. Okay. And what is the next thing is equivalent everything. So we'll consider some kind of document dot write. Okay. I'm going to check whether the values are equalized or not equal. So there is something called as um, let, okay. So let's see like c is equals to, I'm giving it as 10. Okay. So here if you go and check, so whether, let me change this to 10. So but the data type is here, it is string, and here it is number. Can anyone tell me what will be the value for this? Let me give the thing. So a equals to c. So whether I'll be getting true or false, the output will be true or false. So what will be the answer for this? Is it true? A and b. So what will be the value? So what you will get? So a is equals to 10 or b equal to 11. So you'll be getting a value as true. Why? Because so it will not check any data types. Okay. So this is just checking the equalization. This is also an interview question. So if I'm using double equals to, this is called as a strictly operator. If I use this, what happens if I go and if I refresh this, you can see it is false. Why? Because this one will check the data type. It will not check only the value. It will check the data types. Clear? So that is the main reason. And this is the important things we were discussing. Okay, clear? And the next thing is we'll see about, and that is greater than or equal to. I'm going to check with this. A is less than B. Okay, like this I've given. So let's check what is the output. So everything will be true or false. So first one is yes, it is exactly right. Let me change this to 20. Okay, so this is actually true. There is something called as a logical operator. So if I am using ampersand ampersand, um, so if both the value is, for example, one value is true, the another value is false. So this condition is true, right? So if I'm going to check one more condition, like sorry, guys. So if I'm going to check another condition that is called as yeah, so B is greater than C. So this is actually a false statement. This is true statement. So what happened is it will throw the output as false because in ampersand this is called as an AND operator. It should have the values, both should be a true values, then only you'll be getting an exact number. If I changing this to be this one, then you will be getting a true. If I have the same thing and if I'm changing this to not equals to, sorry, it is or operator. If I refresh this, what happened? It is showing true because it will accept if one is true and the another one is false, it will be accepting. Clear? As of now, any doubts? One second. Okay, so next thing is we'll remove this. So actually they have given some simple program to add two numbers using a JavaScript. Okay, so how we can add two numbers? This is very simple. So see here, they have created a variable keyword and first number and second number. And first they are getting an input value. So if I give a prompt method, it will give you the things. Example, once again. Okay guys, next is we'll see some simple example using this add numbers. So first, so after creating a script, I'll be giving a variable name as some A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma, and then E. Okay, so these are some, five values I've given. So next I'm going to get the value from the user. So first I will get a variable A. So either you can use window.prompt or else you can directly give a prompt method, because prompt method is a Windows method. So you don't want to mention either you can go with window.prompt or you can directly go with the prompt method. Okay, so inside this enter first integer. So after doing this, I'm just giving I'm just copying this. I'm going to get the second integer, that is B. Okay, after getting this, so C variables equals to, what I'm going to do is if I'm this going to be some string or something like that, so it will automatically change into integer. So for that, parse integer off. So inside this I'll be giving a variable called A, and just copy this. Here also I'm converting this prompt method to parse integer. So here for value for. After doing this, I'm going to, sum this value. So how I will be sum? So E is equal to C plus D. Okay, and we'll print this value. So document dot write method. So it is asking value. So you can see the value is 24. So like this, you can add numbers. So here you can see the parse integer function converts a string arguments. Okay. So whatever the string arguments we have given, so this is a string arguments, right? So this will be converted into the parse integer. For that purpose, we are using this. Okay. And if you come down, so how to handle the HTML events? So actually, I already told you there are different HTML events we have. So guys, you can also try it. So let me HTML events. Give me a second. Guys, actually, this is a cheat sheet. You know, so in this cheat sheet, for each and every particular topic, you will be having a different examples. You can also go through this for JavaScript. So in events, you can see, right? So like this, you will be creating. That is, previously we have done some example, right? Button and on click, what is a function, right? So like this, we have it for mouse, keyboards, frame, forms, drag, clipboard, media, animations, and the other things are there. Okay, so these are the different events we have. So we can use these kind of events in a real-time example. So as of now, we know how to work with this event, right? So tomorrow we'll see some real-time examples on this. Um, Let me also give some examples so we don't have time. So we close it off at 11:30. Okay. Okay, so already we have discussed about this button, right? So button, yeah. So button slash button. So this is entirely about what I'm going to discuss now. It is called as a button. So button, here the type is button, and then I'm giving that is event name is on click. And what I will give, I will be giving the function name. So for the function, I'll be creating a function here. So function like welcome off. Here I will use it as welcome off. So here I will be creating an alert method. Hello, welcome. Like this I've created, right? So if I go and refresh this, we give a method name. This is my button name. If I click on this, it is showing like hello, welcome, right? So if I'm changing this to be DBL, so DBL means double click. You want to click on two times. See here, after clicking on the two times only, you'll be getting this things. So now we will see one more method that is called as, that is same for the mouse event only. So I'm just going to mention it as, I'm going to use it for my paragraph tag. So for paragraph, okay, so in this paragraph also for the heading, I'll be mentioning it as the ID name. It's going to be some A. So another mouse event. So the mouse events I'm going to use is on mouse down. So the name, the function name you need to mention. And then one more thing is on mouse up. Okay, so here you need to mention the function name. And after this, in the script element, I'll be mentioning it as a function keyword and the on mouse down. Or I'll be giving it as mouse down method. So here I'll be giving it as mouse up. Okay. So in between this, here I'm going to do some functionalities. I'm going to fetch the details of the text. So here I'm going to put some text. So if I hover, that is on the mouse down, it will show something, and if I go on the mouse up, it will show something. Okay, I'll be letting let text. Just copy this paragraph. I'll put it here. Okay, so here just come down. In this particular function, first I need some color to be displayed when I mouse down. Okay, and for the mouse up, I need some other different thing. So document dot get element id, because I'm going to select the paragraph. I have already mentioned the id name, right? By id of key, sorry, the id name is e, right? So a dot, I'm going to make some changes. So color changes. If you need to include some colors or something property from CSS, you need to mention like this: a style dot what you're going to do. If I'm going to use some color, change some color, I'll be mentioning like this. So I'll be giving it as red. Okay, and I'll just copy this. Here I want it to be what blue. So let's check the output. So wait a minute. Yes, I am sorry. I didn't mention the function name here, right? Mouse down off. Check. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. So the ID name is correct one. So ID and mouse down. And here also mouse down. So let me change this to some capital letter. Sometimes the things will be similar to your names, then it won't accept. Let's try this. Document gets element by id of that id name dot style color, and what is the color. Okay, simple. I close the script. Yes. Yeah, sorry, it is working. See here, if I click on this, so if I click on this, something, it is changing to red and blue, right? So this is called as mouse up and down. So like this, there are so many methods we have, for for keyboard events. So there are some methods for the keyboard events. So let's see that as well. Okay, so how we can work with this keyboard events. So keyboard events is also the same thing, but you need to mention a different method name over there. Then you will be getting it. Okay. So as of now, do you have any doubts? Is it very simple, or do you face any difficulties? Actually, I thought to complete Bootstrap, but it is not possible. So tomorrow we most probably complete JavaScript remaining topics. So remaining topics are nothing but we have animations and cookies session. So once we complete this, we are good to go. As of now, do you have any questions? Let's start the recording.